Back to Studio 10. Hey, next time your doctor issues you a prescription, why don't you take a gander at that little piece of paper before you drop it by the pharmacy? Chances are you're not going to be able to make heads or tails of it.
Unfortunately, illegible prescriptions aren't just a cliche reference to a doctor's poor penmanship. If filled improperly, they can be harmful and sometimes fatal.
And here to tell us how e-prescribing is helping eliminate these deadly errors, prime care physician Dr. Jude Pierre. Doctor, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, did they teach you in medical school to have bad handwriting? Is that part of the, because it seems like this is very, very common.
It is very common, especially when doctors see a lot of patients in a day and they're rushed to do things. Your handwriting gets worse as the day goes on, and at the end of medical school, we get together with pharmacists and we have a course on deciphering handwriting.
So you would have to, I would think.
Yeah.
It seems like this is a natural progression. Everything is going to the internet, the computer technology. This was just going to follow suit eventually.
Yeah, I think if you think about the ATM and using ATM cards, I think healthcare is pretty much about 20 years behind technology and other industries, but we've made strides in using e-prescribing in our offices, where we were able to send prescriptions directly to the pharmacies electronically from a computer in our office. So we eliminate the possibility of the pharmacists misreading handwritten prescriptions.
And we have an example, because as we mentioned, it can be sometimes fatal in the instance that this happens. But we have an example for you today, and this is, first, I can't read any of this, to be honest with you.
Well, as you can see, this is an unfortunate prescription that was written for a patient for 3 prescriptions. The first is a cardiac medication, and I don't know if you can read the first line.
Zendu? I don't know.
I see the chicken has left the hen house.
Yeah.
That's what I read.
I don't know. 120. That's the only part of that I can read.
Well, the prescription was actually written for Iserdil, which is a cardiac medication, 30 milligrams every 6 hours.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the pharmacist filled Plendil for 30 milligrams every 6 hours, and that is a potent blood pressure medication that led to the patient's demise, and unfortunately, the patient actually expired.
All from bad handwriting.
That is correct.
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, this is, obviously this is not just about keeping up with technology. This is about making sure that we're not putting people's lives in danger.
That is correct, and that is why Medicare actually has initiated an incentive for doctors to actually e-prescribe it. Starting in 2009, the Medicare is going to reimburse or incentivize physicians to adopt an e-prescribing system in their practices, and this is going to help jolt the industry to moving towards technology and medicine. Right now, less than 5% of physicians are actually e-prescribing for their patients. And in our offices, we've got pretty much over 90% compliance with e-prescribing for our doctors. And the patients are happy. They're able to receive emails if they're online with us that of the prescriptions that were sent for them. And it's something that is improving our practice tremendously.
I know people get concerned anytime you talk about sending things via the internet and email about security, but this is very safe.
Yeah, it is a safe system, and I always like to make the analogy of the banking system. We can send billion-dollar transactions online, and we're still worried about sending a prescription securely online, and it is done securely through secure websites, and everything is compliant to what the government is asking.
And there's actually some more components to it too, where you can figure out if there are any other medications you're taking over the counter or so forth, vitamins, whatever, which might not go well with your prescription.
Correct. Once a practice uses this e-prescribing system, it keeps track of all the prescriptions that the patient's on. And it is able to check drug-to-drug interactions and check to see if there's an allergy for that medication that's being prescribed. So it's actually a safer system, because, as you can see, when you prescribe 3 medications on a piece of paper, there's no way to check if there are any interactions.
Right, exactly. It's up to the patient then at that point, and the pharmacist. And the pharmacist, we don't necessarily know. I don't know if one thing goes well with another. Right. So
I would assume. The pharmacists and the pharmacies love this, because there's no questions.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pharmacists love it. We find that they wish that every doctor was e-prescribing, because it definitely improves their efficiency and improves patient care.
Well, Dr. Pierre, thank you so much for being with us today. And to learn more about e-prescribing and how Dr. Pierre is using technology to keep in touch with his patients, you can visit his website, healthlinkassociates.com, or you can give his Spring Hill office a call at 352-686-3101, or his office in Tampa at 813-872-9384.
And if you're new to the area or you're just looking for a medical provider for any reason, you can visit primecarellc.com.
We have lots more Studio 10 still to come, Jim.
We sure do. The Medium has moved to CBS. We're going to chat with stars Patricia Arquette and Jake Weber. That's when Studio 10 returns.
This segment was paid for by Prime Care LLC.